My name is Doug, and this is Leaving the Dream. On October 5th, 2021, Hawaii's very own Sam Kapoi was sentenced to 18 years behind bars in a federal prison. With only 4 days left as a free man, Sam sat down with me in an exclusive 4-hour interview that you can only find right here on Leaving the Dream. This is Sam's only interview, and he holds nothing back. So here's Sam's story in his own words.
Oh, from the ashes I will rise. No satisfaction without the fight. A man has limits, oh, so they say, but I'll never listen. Did it my way. I'm gonna take what's mine, I paid my dues. I dare you to walk a mile in these shoes. The beat in my soul just keeps getting louder. Give me some of that power.
So you make your run and it worked. And was there like a moment after that where you're like, wow, this worked? And it really like set in?
For sure. You know, it's like that. I would be lying if I didn't say I had like this crazy rush. You know what I mean? Like this crazy anxiety, paranoia, excitement, all the shit that just messes with your brain and heart. You know what I mean? Like blood pressure, like all that shit. Because it's like first of all, boarding a plane with this stuff, right? Because you see all the movies, you hear all the stories. It's like,
bro, I cannot even imagine. Is this in your luggage?
Is this a carry-on?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So with the no TSA shit, you just walk right on and just do your thing.
Are you tripping on the plane?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's like, first of all, just walking into that place, right? It's like, holy fuck, I'm carrying X amount of weight. Like this thing, literally, I could go away for 10 plus years. And, but the motivation, right? It was different. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm just doing this for the reason why I was doing it, right? I was doing this for my grams and get out. And so being on the plane, it was a rush. Like I said, you know, like I would pack my fins and my goggles just in case if the plane crashed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's just how I would travel, you know, on those type of planes. And,
what kind of planes are those?
Like little Cessnas, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so it's prop planes.
So how many people are on the plane? Like 10?
8 or less, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, maybe 10 or less, yeah.
Is that a sketchy flight?
It's pretty crazy because you got to stop like 2 or 3 times, you know. Like you got to transfer in Maui and then
oh, really?
Yeah, 2 times. Yeah. So it's a one stopover. And then they refuel, and then you go over to the next island. So it's bumpy, bro. Like just like how the channel I was talking about, it's the same in the air. Like it's pretty rough.
Why do those airlines exist, you think?
I don't know. I guess just for cheaper travel from the story that they tell. They definitely was the cheapest at the time and the most, just the easiest way to travel, honestly.
When you would fly Big Island, where would you come in? You come in Hilo?
No, Kona.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kona had the private airport over there.
Is the sketchiest part getting on the plane, or is the sketchiest part getting off the plane, wondering if you just got set up?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, this is a setup.
I felt both of them. You know what I mean? Literally. For the few months that I was doing the runs, I would just wonder, you know, because I'm all about communication, right? It's like call, make sure everything's ready to ride, pick up, all that stuff. And for the first few times I did it, I was like, man, this is easy. You know what I mean? I can get away with this. But then the what ifs, you know, start kicking in, and that one day, whatever it was, February, whatever, you can look it up, it's public record. February 2020, there's no answers. You know what I mean? And I'm calling my partner at the time. Then I'm thinking like, okay, maybe his car not working, or like the last thing on my mind was being set up. When I landed, I remember seeing like out the window, I saw a van, like a big white van that I never did see before. And the guy was laying back and he sat up real quick because he saw the plane land, right? So I'm looking, I'm like,
You seen this from the window of the plane?
The window. So I'm looking, I'm like, that was kind of awkward. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro,
so
leave it to police, man.
it's fucking cops,
every time we had a stakeout. You probably remember this. You remember when we had 37-11s get robbed?
No, that's crazy.
Remember on Oahu in 2015 ish,
Wow,
2014, had a guy, black and white clothes, wearing a mask and a hoodie, robbed 30 Chevrons, 7-Elevens, and whatever, and we never caught this guy.
Wow.
And so at one point we stake out all 30 stores on Oahu, like in town.
Yeah.
Everywhere from Hawaii Kai in through Kaileigh. Every store you can imagine. Picture a gas station or a 7-Eleven. We're in the coolers. We're in the freezers. Like we're hiding, waiting for this guy because he was doing it every week. Yeah, he was doing it every week.
Holy shit.
And taunting us. And one night we were sitting on all these stores and he had already hit this one Chevron. And we're all plain clothes. And I'm sitting in a car at one of the 7-Elevens. There was one store we didn't sit on, and it was the one that he had robbed the last time. So we didn't sit on it because we thought he's not going to rob the same store.
Last one, yeah.
Bro,
he went there.
He went there while we were all sticking out. So everyone real quick started worrying if we had a mole.
Right.
I was like telling him.
Right, where they at? Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, some of the supervisors in CID drove around and were trying to just see how everything looked. And I remember them telling me that some of the units, who I won't name, they were like, laid back in their chair, feet up, spitting seeds out the window.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Watching movies on their laptop, the lights in their face. Yeah. And there's no way anybody who's going to rob a store that prepared for that, they're going to look around and they're going to see. And so when you said that, it brought that to mind. Like, you know what I mean? You got this guy who's moving weight and you're not ready. And the plane comes in and he sees you. And so I'm getting it from the horse's mouth right now. Like, you seen this guy. And I don't know what you could have done at that point. Like, not pick up your stuff, leave without the bag. Like, who knows if there was anything you could have done at that point if you seen it. But he could have ruined that whole thing. And so it just it's just hilarious. Like, he wanted to watch Netflix so bad and he wasn't prepared. So, and sorry, I went off on a tangent. So you see that. And then is it just something that stuck out? It didn't really do much to you because you're like, yo, I got to do what I got to do. But it's something you still remembered? Or did it sketch you out?
I kind of brushed it off. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, it cannot be. Because it's, again, like, that was the last thing on my mind. Like, I was being set up. So I'm like,
had you ever had a plan in your head if something went down? Like me, I plan ahead for everything I do. So I'm thinking, do you think to yourself, yo, if I pull up and I ever get that feeling, I walk, or this is what I do? You know what I mean? Did you have like a contingency plan in case something got sketchy?
Honestly, at that moment, nope. Everything was going so smoothly. And honestly, I think because I told this guy this was my last run, like I told him that. And so because of that, that's probably why they came down on me. You know what I mean? Like, they got to grab him now because I'll be gone forever kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I never had a contingency at all. Like, I never had a...
Had you ever had any close calls?
Not at all. Like, and then, of course, my discovery comes out and then I see everything and I'm like, everything makes sense. You know what I mean? How the operation was going since, what was that, December-ish, up until I got caught in February. And I remember like walking on the tarmac, going to the bathroom at the private check-in thing, and I went to the restroom, took a piss, came out. I had my headphones on, And I sat down, just waiting for the call. You know, I tried calling, texting him again, didn't answer.
So you like sitting outside the airport waiting?
No, at the private airport, there's like this little center in the middle that
Like a lounge?
Yeah, it's like just chairs or bench.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there just with my headphones, and because I was like, it happened a few times like that, right? Like
yeah. So you already did this before, nothing new.
Yeah. So I was just chilling, and this guy just walks up right up to me, and his hip is in my face, flashes his badge, Homeland Security, and I'm like,
so you never seen him coming?
I was looking down at my phone waiting for the call. And then he just came right to my face, flashed his badge, and whispered some shit like blah, 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 whatever. His name, you know, and I was just shocked. Like I fucking couldn't believe it, bro. Like honestly, it felt like a movie. You know what I mean? Like, this is not happening. You know what I mean? Like, I looked up, and there were like at least 30 guys around. Like, there's a lot.
Dozens of guys.
Yeah, and I was looking around, I was like, holy shit, there's no way out of this. You know what I mean? Like, you can think of the craziest shit, and still, like, you're the one that's going to die. You know what I mean? If you did try to pull some shit, right?